Greetings, gamers. Welcome back to, I think, is going to be the finale of what I'm now gonna. These guys will know at the end of this adventure. The nameless adventure, for right now, tentatively, once it finally goes for sale, or at least an idea of it goes up, that you can download, is the False Prophet Planet Shake. And we are about to launch into the final couple of scenes. To kind of dress the scene right now, we have Rachel playing Ledwicka, who's a wayfinding centillion made up of bacteria. We've got Aaron down in this corner here playing Mr. Crystal, who's kind of like your enforcer, crystalline type golem sort of character, more or less. And then up here, we've got Eric playing Gareth Carr. Well, a form of Gareth Carr. We Gareth Carr died, but his consciousness, because he was found out throughout during our adventuring through twists and whatnot that he is an AI, actually uploaded his consciousness into a system and is now in a automaton named Mixie. And for those viewing at home or for those next to him, right now, we are going to say that, yeah, the group pretty much knows that it is Gareth Carr's consciousness in Mixie, or at least part of it. His main function and download, they know, is in the core of this volcano, which is why they're down here. Now, they've been hired for a contract. In this core of the middle of this volcano is a whole bunch of super energy that can power a starship to get to the red planet, to Dugan Red. But they already have drilled and discovered another smaller catch that can enough for a one-way trip. So let me set the scene and then let me ask the goals for what we're trying to do here. Right now, they have just come down a long drill shaft that has opened up into the interior of a volcano that has different tunnels coming from different areas. The open top, so in the middle of this, we'll call it a lake of lava with like floating chunks of rock they can maybe hop to and fro if you don't weigh a million tons like Mixie does. No jumping for Mixie. In the middle is kind of this outcropping that's grown of magma and not magma, but of hardened dirt and whatnot, is the terraforming core capsule itself that was originally sent here by what we know as Raven Tech. And we also know that when they did the terraforming, they actually had their poor scientists that went along for this, and they have turned them into these crab tars that are natives of this thing. Now, this little poor thing, it is sheer cut in half, but it's like a hollowed out tube that has still lots of computer stuff, and they think that is where Gareth Carr's bulk of the consciousness is remains in there. Now, there are several things happening at this direct moment. Is that you can clearly see that the lava lake has ripples of a giant steam mander swimming underneath of it, is A. B, there's about a dozen mercenaries from the remaining four other ships that came here to try and get the contract for the energy source. These mercenaries are trying to clear the way. Some of them are working together, some of them are not trying to work together to be able to claim this to be able to drill for the energy source that is right here, that is all around the base of that middle kind of island sort of thing. Now the problem is that the mercenaries are having a real tough time because they are also fighting this orb-like automaton about this round with a giant, let's call it lens, right in the middle. And it has four retractable metal arms that end in different arrays of gems. And right before we left, we saw it turn to one of the mercenaries, project a ray from its main lens, and the mercenary had all of its cellular walls collapse and turn into sludge and ooze down the side of the volcano. While you're looking at this automaton as it seems to be just picking off these mercenaries one by one, you do see that it has that you wouldn't necessarily notice, but it has a some sort of force field around it, plus heavy plating as it's flying around, blowing things up. From this distance, it has something written on the side of it, but you can't tell what it is. And I think that's everything. Oh, a nice little thing that we're going to leave off with because you can see outside of the volcano all the way up is that you see above you what looks like fireworks possibly going off, only to realize with horror is that the Raven Tech ships have gotten here a lot quicker than you thought they were going to. And you see the other vessels that you came with here to fill the contracts are trying to fight off Raven Tech. You can't quite tell the Warhawks who came here to be part of your military escort. You don't know what side they're fighting on from this distance. All right, so right now, here's where they're at. They have 2 unity points right now. And it's going to be a little bit till they can earn a third one through the tension table. So they need to get at least 3 unity points to be able to do an all for one check. And an all for one check means they can do one thing, one really big thing. Okay. And they can kind of string it together to all work out to take care of it. Now, here's the problem. And these guys need to answer this question. You only have one all for one check probably left this adventure, the climax to be able to pull it off. What do you think you want that to be right now? Like, what is your overall goals? Because you don't have that much options. Like, are you gonna try and get the energy? Like, are you gonna try and like? Let me ask that. This is a general. Are you gonna try and get more energy for the vessel to make the trip?
We don't think we can make it without more energy. This is gonna be my voice tonight, everybody. There may be
Rachel?
some cracks. There may be some
I
just air
forgot until you
comes
started
out.
talking.
I just hear air come out sometimes when you expect to hear sound. It is what it is.
For the
um,
record, we have the energy we need to be able to get to
Digging
the
red.
red planet, the red mist once, right? Like we can get there
You
with
got a
it.
one-way trip there. Yep.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I don't want to speak for everyone, but I think that right now Gareth Robot Car is like that's not a high priority.
Agreed. If we have enough to get there, then I think we low priority, but sure, if we have the time.
Yeah, we'll figure it out once we get to the red planet how we're getting back.
Yeah.
Mr. Crystal's not really thinking too far ahead on that one.
Okay, fair enough. So then think about conceptually how what do you think you want to do if you get the third unity point? I guess I should point it out that way. It is possible to get through this without doing an all for one check, but it's not possible to complete all your goals. Like you just have to we're gonna try and do this one thing and we'll try and skin by it, right? But if you do get that third unity point, do you know what you'll think you'll want to use it for?
How much do we? How much can we think about like helping someone's untold story and how it might like clue in? Can we combine all of that to be one big thing?
Well, so you've each of you have already done your untold story this
Oh, we
adventure.
don't. Yeah,
Yep.
we don't have any more left. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So you don't have any more untold stories to pull off. Now, in the future, because this has been 4 sessions, hasn't it? I think.
This is the fourth.
Um, thinking like down the road, that may be something that needs to change, right? That hey, maybe you can do it more than just once per adventure. But
Okay.
or maybe not. I don't know. Because you guys already did one all for one adventure or all for one roll this adventure already. So that's why you only have two. Otherwise, you'd have five right now.
Sure.
So something to think about because it is, yeah, this is the end. You gotta figure it out. And I will say this once you do the all for one roll, that's it. The adventure is over. Depending how your roll goes and leftover tension points is something else, I'm going to spring this mechanic on you. Is that we're then going to talk about other like loose ends and how they get wrapped up, depending on how you guys roll or how the tension points come up. Depends who tells that story, whether I do or whether you guys get to.
Well, I think that the if we have a all for one, it's probably just going to be survival, right? Like we find a way by the skin of our teeth to just get off the out of this predicament. Is that not epic enough?
I mean, probably.
I mean,
Preferably with Gareth Carr's memory stored in Mixie.
yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, it's got to be part of it.
Okay. So maybe we can try and weave a couple different things together for the all for one roll, but we'll see how that goes. Because as far as like what are your goals? What are the obstacles? Well, you got this automaton who's just killing everything down there. You do have the steam man who's swimming around the lava, but that's probably more of a hey, this is you know, it doesn't want you there. Uh for obvious reasons, and maybe not so obvious, but there's a big reason that it's there in eating people. Um, you have the automaton, you have the steam mander, you've got Gareth Carr's memory, consciousness, whatever you want to call it, trapped in there. You've got the energy down there, and then you just have escaping, like
Right.
just the flight. Like there's a bunch of stuff going on up in the orbit that you haven't seen. So that's what you're dealing with. As of right now, though, you are still hidden at the entranceway of the drill tunnel that went down there. And for right now, you are unseen. Okay. I'm going to do three things. One, Rachel, pick a number one through six.
4.
Four, the gravity right now is normal. Okay. So humanoids like Ludwika and Mr. Crystal right now, if you wanted to jump around and move around and whatnot, it's regular gravity, right? Which means Mixie, because you are so dense, you cannot jump right now. There are different waves of gravity that'll happen that, you know what, there will be times that you'll be able to, or the gravity's going to double. Okay. So it's depending on what happens there. So there's your gravity. All right. Mixie, you get transmission coming from oh right, you're Mixie, slash Gareth Carr. You're still plugged in to the MV Plunder Donkey, and now that there's access, you can you hear from Royce going like, oh, lines clear, lines clear. What's going on? We lost you. Ah, what's happening? Where can we get you out of there? What's going on? And then finally, Mr. Crystal, with your not necessarily newfound, but you're really exploring a little bit more of your connection with the weave, the essence, is you are sensing that that shield that's around the automaton that's flying around killing everyone is essence based, which you know from like everyone would know this is that most automatons have what's called the logical condition, meaning that they're immune to like panache effects, but also usually unable to use essence at all. With that, wow, there's like rocks falling and like, you're hiding out in the tunnel. What are you gonna do?
So, Gareth, I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know if you're getting the reception from Mixie. Do we need to get Mixie down to that pod down there?
Yes. 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 If possible, is there a path? Is there a path to it?
Looking out over the small lake of lava, the only path is like floating islands of rock.
Can't
I
jump.
can't make a jump, but I might I might have to.
One thing at a time. Let's just get down there and we'll solve that problem when we get to it? What do you two think?
Excuse me. Do you have any kind of cable, Mixie, that could be extended out?
I have I have the grappling spike launcher.
Oh,
I I took it from I took it. I have it. Not sure how to use it.
so we need to be past this like essence force field, is what you're saying. Is where the pod is that we're looking for.
Well, if you want to attack the flying automaton, you looks like you probably have to get past that essence force field. But it's flying around. It's not
Oh,
in the terraforming capsule.
gotcha. Can I see where we want to be with this terraforming capsule?
How do you mean?
Like if I were to jump over rocks and things, like do I know where I'm aiming to land ultimately?
I mean, yeah, you just want to get to the islands in the middle, right? Then like a little brief
Got it.
scramble up into the terraforming capsule itself.
How
And
far away is
while you're looking right now at it, trying to figure out if there's a little bit of a path, you see you think there's some movement coming from within the capsule.
I will explain this to everybody. What I would like to do is teleport myself down there. And then you can shoot the grappling spike launcher to me and slide Mixie down. And I don't know how Mr. Crystal's getting down there,
Well,
but
so here's how I'm envisioning it. So the tunnel drilled down like this, right?
okay.
And you guys are on level
Oh, got it.
right now. So you don't have to scramble down anything. You're there. You can start making your way across if you want to right now. Or teleport up to. I forget you had that teleport. That's brutal. Okay.
Mhm. I mean, will that help get Mixie there? Basically, like, how will the grappling spike launcher help Mixie in this scenario?
It's your guys' plan. What
Uh, I want to try something first.
Okay.
Uh, I want to see if I can transfer my essence from Mixie to the death droid that's in the middle, the
Okay.
Medusa droid down there, the beholder droid.
Okay. So I will this is one nice thing about the system on here is that the Oracle, me, who's running stuff, never has to say no to anything, which is great. I love that part of the system. Yeah, I think yeah, because you're both right now basically automaton based creatures, right? But you're gonna have to get within a port and get it all hooked up in its different type of mechanics. You're gonna need a 41 to do so.
Can I
That sounds pretty rough.
Yeah, so I can say like I can say no without actually saying
is this
no. Like
considered an
it's
Yeah,
not
for sure.
conflict?
what's
The
that?
what?
Is this considered an environment conflict?
For like crossing over the lava? Yes.
No, what he's trying to do, his like 41 that he needs.
No, it would be an opposed
Gotcha.
thing. I see what you're doing though. That is, I again, I
No,
don't
I
want to
get
say
what
no. No, I don't want to say no. I don't want to say no because I want to think about it just for a second more. Because I just put a big number on it because I'm like, well, A, I don't want it to happen, but also B, there's other things that are happening there that you guys don't know about yet. Um, one of the funniest things that even though I mentioned it 3 times last adventure, you guys never went into the laboratory. You guys never went in there. It's like that's where all the lore dump is for the adventures in there. And I'm like, oh, okay. Um, so I said 41. Um, is it an environmental thing? It is. You know what? I think it would be an opposed because if that was going to be the other part too, like if you guys just trying to take out the automaton, the Eye of Terror here, the Eye of Fear, or whatever you want to call it, was going to be an all for one type check. Um, but there's other things you may want to decide to do to avoid it or whatnot. So great questions, good thinking, excellent planning. I would be into the idea to bring it down to 21 if that's something you want to look into. I would be cool with that.
Okay.
I mean, if that's where we'd want to go, one might suggest that uh, Ludwika teleports onto the thing, and then using the grappling spike launcher's cable to essentially create a cable that could be sort of used as a like plug into that and then plug into Mixie to make the link um, between the two of us to be able to transfer the essence.
Well, the automaton's flying around, and I will say that you can only do that check is if once you take out the essence force field.
And there's an essence force field.
Yeah.
Even assuming Ludwika could
But I can
teleport onto the top of the thing, that's a whole thing.
right,
Maybe
but I
we're
can teleport to the pod where the rest of your essence, the rest of your
Yeah.
memory is.
Yeah,
be
you
good to go
can
there.
you can definitely teleport there. You can attempt to teleport on top of the tyrant thing.
You
Um,
go pass
let's
on
just call
that.
it what it
You
is.
still have to get the rest of your memory, even if you we went on
Uh,
got your
Ludwika,
full memory into the automaton, like we still have to go get the rest of your memory.
Yeah.
Ludwika, Ludwika. I think it's I think it's time to ditch Mixie. Mixie is Mixie is a liability. Just download my essence into what you have into your into into your drive. You
We
don't
have to
you
the drive?
don't into whatever that you have to transfer me. Mixie can't make the trip.
Well, the captain of the plunder donkey's not gonna be too happy if we don't come back without Mixie.
Tough, tough,
Mr.
tough.
Crystal, what are you doing while they're having this conversation?
I'm going to reach out, pat Mixie on the side, and say, I'm going to go take care of that automaton over there. I'm going to pull up my fell glaive onto my shoulder and start creeping forward to try to flank it as best I can.
Okay.
I'll try to buy you guys some time.
Okay. What I'm going to do here is I'm gonna have Aaron give me a number 1 through 6. This is for a different randomization. Now you rolled it.
I'm going 6.
Okay. One of the mercenaries has an errant shot that hits the pod, the terraforming capsule. Now Eric, give me number 1 through 6. You can just give it to me. You don't have to.
I don't know, 2.
Okay. Uh, y- you see the errant laser fire go into the capsule, and you suddenly feel the gravity double. Any splotches of magma that were kind of popping up suddenly get flattened down, and the lake spreads, creeping towards your feet that way. All right, Mr. Crystal, you're creeping up along the side of the wall the best you can, trying to line up the the automaton. Um, okay, there's mercenaries, right? Chaos, stuff like that. You're creeping out. Let's go. All right, let's take. If you're coming out of the tunnel, I'm gonna leave those two alone that are in there. I'm gonna see if I can just do random fire your direction, and it was an 8. I was gonna keep it. If I got a 9, I was gonna make you roll, but I didn't. So random fire, you're like, pew, gets close as you're kind of creeping around. All right, now we're gonna go into turn-based, kind of what we're creeping along and trying to do. Let's go, Mr. Crystal. Since you're in action mode, you've crept out of the tunnel. The gravity has doubled. You're fine though. You have your vigor, I know, is higher than everyone else's. You're able to keep climbing just fine. What do you want to do?
Uh, did the floating eye respond at all to the gravity doubling?
Yes, it dipped, but it's fine. It does get closer to the lava.
Okay. Am I? Is we're coming down? Is there any chance for me to jump on top of it?
Give me a climbing sort of check, which I think is gonna be vigor valor. And it's going to be an environmental check. Because gravity is doubled, we'll put it up to 12.
Well, there you go. There's 12 and a couple tension points for you.
Hey, thanks. I needed those.
I don't
Okay,
know if you
great.
did, but
Yeah, you're able to scramble up higher. That's like you see like one of the are you I assume you're trying to hide or are you trying to make yourself be noticed?
no, I'm trying to be as discreet as possible while it's flying around. My hope is to get the jump on it.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. You do see one of the mechanical arms spin and lash out with a red gem beam striking one of the mercenaries as the mercenary just bursts into flame as it starts thrashing wildly and he rolls down into the lava as the steam mander gulps it as he gets close to the edge. All right, those in the tunnel, what are we doing?
I don't know where else to put Gareth Carr except Mixie. I think Mixie stays here and we come back through this tunnel is how we get out.
Do you have like a data pad or any sort of like
Not
electronic
big enough.
device?
Can't hold that much memory.
Yeah, if we go back and think about what were the possible areas that we could put Gareth Carr's consciousness, there was only 3 places. Do you remember the third place? One was Mixie, one was in the core of the terraforming thing, and there was a third one too.
Don't remember the third one.
It was in a person.
Yeah, she's not here.
She is not here.
Um, I mean, do I think there would be, just from my knowledge of Raven Tech stuff, do I think there would be some type of like external drive situation in the core that I would know it's us? Like I'd be able to find like it's saved on this one and I just need to grab that one.
Sure. I mean, it's all terraforming stuff, right? And that wasn't your specialty. But that being said, maybe, right? You know.
If I can get to the terraforming area, like that's half the battle, right? Like there's just
Yeah,
But let's get back or out or
yeah,
whatever. So what
that's
if
it.
you
Yeah,
send
if I get to
me
that point, we're golden. It's getting there that I just don't know how I'm going to get there.
yeah.
Um,
I will point this out. I think Ludwig is can piece it together because she's got the highest lore and she's the science person. Um, you think that the gravity well is affected by the terraforming capsule.
Okay. So if I okay. Okay, tell you what, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna teleport over there. I'm gonna figure out how to affect the gravity so that it's less, so you can get over there. When you feel that happen, move fast. The floor is lava.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my god, because it is.
It is
Okay.
literally lava. Don't fall in the lava. That is my warning.
Okay. Do you want to? Is that what we're gonna do?
Yep, I'm gonna spend a saga point to teleport right underneath the right by the entrance to the core.
Okay, sounds good. Now I do want to tell Mixie, because you're sure-footed with 6 legs or whatever, you can climb up and down these walls, not a problem. Doesn't like, especially like, even with the gravity doubling, great. You are fine with that. Um, so okay, so you teleport. So spend a saga point, and you
Done.
teleport to the mouth of the capsule,
Yep.
the terraforming capsule.
I thought I saw movement in there, so I'm going to be ready with whatever weapon.
Okay. You appear at the cusp as you look into the thing. You see the interior of this capsule. It's about like 2 arm spans wide, right, and tall. Kind of this tube full of like computer screens and stuff. It's covered in that red algae that's on the surface of the planet. It's just sticking to stuff, and it's everywhere. And you completely have surprised, and you may take an action before he does. You have completely surprised the crab tar that you know as Chot, the one with the staff and the holy symbol. Or no, not the
Look,
staff. He just had the holy symbol and the robes.
you shouldn't be allowed to be here and try to keep us out.
Yeah, yeah. He is completely shocked, but he seems to be doing something with his hands as he's weaving them back and forth. As you have an action, what would you like to do?
Have an action with which I will try to intimidate. Nope, I'm bad at that. Um, sorry, thinking fast. I didn't expect to have an action. Um, um, I'm gonna
Honestly,
run.
because you surprised him, if you want to turn to think about it, that's fine.
Okay.
Gareth Carr slash Mixie, what are you doing as Ludwika has teleported across the lava pool, ended up near the thing? Yes. Oh, Aaron.
Gareth, just so you know, it didn't make a lot of sense, but when Mr. Crystal patted you on the side, he said, Gareth, I know Mixie can make the jump. Don't worry, I've got a plan.
Woof. Uh, Mixie, into the sort of toolbox thing that's on the outside, right?
Yep.
Um, Takes the grappling spike launcher and takes the fedora and puts the fedora on his head, and then uses the grappling spike launcher to sort of put line around, and then to tighten the hat on, so it's on the top of his head. Uh, and then it's going to sort of go to the edge of the lava field and look towards Mr. Crystal.
Hey, do you want
I mean, I don't know that I'd jump with double the gravity, but
to? Nope. I
but I
just see
mean,
Mixie walking into the lava like blur.
Yeah, I Terminator to myself down in. No, he's gonna Mixie gets onto the edge there and is and just really wants to see the whole battlefield at this point, where Mr. Crystal is, where Ludwika ended up, where Beholder Droid is, where everything is. Just really, if I can just use a round to get a really good idea of what the situation is.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Coming out of the cave, Let's see how Mr. Crystal went up there. We're gonna do a random shot at you then too, Miss Mixie. 3d6. 7, don't worry about it. You don't have to roll at all. Is it just nearby off you until someone actually focuses on you? It's gonna be a different story. Okay, Ludwika, have you thought about what you're gonna do with your surprise round?
Yeah, I I wanna ask him more questions, so I don't wanna kill him, but I wanna just try to, like, knock him out, like, use the butt of whatever weapon I have to
Okay,
hit him over the head.
yeah, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's gonna be a still a duel thing.
Sure.
You're the attacker, so you roll first.
Dual vigor?
Yeah, if you're trying to knock him out with your weapon, yes. Nope. Okay. You wanna spend a saga point if you have one to make it what 11?
Um,
Oh, 13.
uh, how strong do I think this guy is? Yeah, I will.
Okay. You know that he's got some sort of armor, just natural armor, right? So you're going 13.
Oh.
I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take 3. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
I'm fine. Well, I shouldn't say
10.
I'm fine. Okay, so you crack. His armor absorbs some of it. But yeah, you put
Does it
a
take his
dec-
attention off of what his hands are doing?
Oh, yes, I need to make a roll for that real quick. Let's see
Break
how I am.
or whatever you're calling
Good
this mechanic.
question. So I'm going to be at a -4 on a 3d6. Okay, so I got a 10, 14. I'm not going to spend the points. -3 puts that at 7. Okay. The rest of the group that's outside of the capsule, um, you see the kind of white force field around the flying automaton flicker and disappear. Hmm. Okay, so now we go all the way back. All right, now we are combat. So I'm going to go first, unless someone wants to spend 2 tension points. Anyone want to do that? Okay, I'm going to do 1 attack. I have X number of mercenaries. Okay, and I'm just going to start mowing through them. I'm going to have the the we know this is Demru, obviously, right? This is Demru, the flying automaton. We're going to vaporize one of the mercenaries. We're now down to 8 mercenaries left. All right. Anyone want to spend a tension point to go next? Okay, I'm going to vaporize another mercenary as they're just getting picked off from this inside of the volcano. Anyone want to spend a tension point to go next? I'm going to vaporize another one. Anyone want to spend a tension point to go next? Okay. All right, we're now down to 5 mercenaries. As these rays have just been lashing out, just picking out these mercenaries, as the rest of them are starting to get the idea, this is a terrible idea. I don't want to be here anymore. But it's not their turn, so they're not going to get to go. Um, no one's paying attention to you guys at all from the mercenary side. However, since you now are getting close to the number of mercenaries in there, the Demru is now going to start focusing on you guys. Now, Chot is going to go now. Okay.
Okay.
Did you want to go before Chot?
I was trying to decide. I probably should, but I'm not going to.
Okay. All right. And then 9. I'm going to stick with 9. That's fine.
Okay.
Sally!
This isn't what I wanted. Um, okay, so
As he lashes at your throat with his crab, like,
yep, and I have to do a vigor duel. Is that what I'm doing?
yes, it'd be Vigor Duel. If you want to do damage back to him if you win. You can do other things like vigor, valor to roll out of the way. You wouldn't, but if you
I'll do
win,
that.
you don't do any damage back.
I just want to get out of the way at the moment.
Okay.
I feel safer. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I'm
Uh,
clipping you for 1 point of damage right now. Health damage.
I can take one.
Okay. All right. So he clips you, just like drawing a bead of bacterial goo oozing from your neck as he snips at you. In Chot just like, you starlings should not have come. This is not for what it's be. Now, as you're now fighting and bashing around the inside of the capsule, I'm now going to do d6. The gravity goes from twice as heavy to twice as light. A massive shift of gravitational pulls as you see, like, because it was that drastic of a change, everyone's going to need to do a base 9 vigor valor or get tossed down, falling into lakes of lava or whatever you're nearest. Oh my god! Oh no, not you, Ludwig. You're inside the capsule. Sorry. The people on the outside. You were so close though. Uh, okay. Okay. Perfect. All right. Uh, Mixie, Mr. Crystal, you are fine as you start to feel yourself getting lifted off from the inside. However, this phenomenon takes bubbles of lava, of magma, and makes them float up into the air. So now you're gonna have to contend with that. Um, my turn, my turn. It's basically your guys' turn at this point. I have one action left that I'm basically holding. So, tell me what you guys want to do.
Go ahead.
Uh, I'm going to do one thing that's super simple. Hopefully, it's kind of like a free action.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, like do a whistle, quick whistle that Gareth would know means sort of go for it, and hits the trigger on his belt because I have a plan. I'm going to invoke my status if I have a plan,
Yep.
and it's going to trigger the piece I slapped on this on Mixie, and it's from one of the anti-grav belts that I had brought along in case we needed to move something really heavy, and I
Yep.
stuck it to the side of you. So now you're dealing with even less gravity than you were before. You get +6 on the roll that you make to jump.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, that is a free thing, not a problem, because you're just like whistle it up because you guys had it. You had that big meeting before you guys came down here. Yes. Love when a plan comes together. All right, so then you lose that condition. That goes away. And then what do you want to do for your action?
I am gonna leap on the back of Eyeboy, and I'm gonna try to jam the glaive into its eyeball.
Okay. Yeah. Simple attack, I think. Um, we are boy.
Dual vigor or dual mysticism? I don't know if it still has anything mystical weave about it, so I'll let that be your call. I'm
Okay.
guessing it's a dual either way.
Yeah, dual either way. This is a straight up vigor. All right, you're using the Blade of Fell Contagion for the first time. That's the full title of the weapon.
Oh,
Um, Blade of Fell Contagion. Um, it is you get +2 dice for dual. Um, vigor and mystical, and it has a condition that's attached to it.
oh.
Which this is just the weapon itself. It doesn't transfer to you. And the name of that condition, once you finally use the weapon, is called Homecoming.
So dual is going to be 6 dice +2, so 8 dice,
Yeah.
and I'm going to use my lucky bracelets for a +1.
Okay. Yeah, great. Let's see what we can
So this
do.
So a 6 and a 6. So I think I might trigger something. And
Maybe.
I'm gonna buy the 5 and the 4 for 20. That gets me to 21. Plus the bracelet gets me to 22.
Okay. I'm going to tell you this probably is the biggest. Well, no, actually, the Needler was probably the biggest bad guy you fought. This is like the second. So, but you're up to 22, you said?
Yep.
Oh, all right. I have 6 dice and I rolled like poop. Okay. Let's see now. I do have pretty good armor, but 22, if I can only spend 2. Put me at 6, 10, 15. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna spend 2 tension points. So I take 7 minus 2 from my shield, my armor plating. So you cleave into Demru, damaging badly, cutting through circuitry, and as you slice it open, you let's say you hack off one of the tentacles. Which one would you like to do? You can do the fire, frost, disintegration, or force.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was looking at its giant eye sensor
Yep.
thing to try to blind it,
Yes,
but
you're
if
gonna get
that.
that too, but you're gonna get one of the
Oh,
tentacles.
really?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yep.
dang. It was so. Say it again. Fire, frost.
Fire, frost, force, so it can knock you off things. Like if you're trying to jump across and it can just bloop, or disintegration.
Oh, disintegration.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
getting rid of all right. That's the one where the guy got well, no, it's for a different. Okay, disintegration. Got it. Perfect. All right,
Oh, it's a different
and
disintegrator. Good to know.
it is. Yeah, I need to take that off. Disintegration gone. Okay. All right, its main eye badly damaged as its sensors are going crazy as you slice into it. You notice the red algae has grown throughout the interior of this automaton. And the way that it reacts to being attacked is not very automaton like as you slash into it. When you slash into it, actually, because this will be happening at the same time as other things. All right, let's go other people, and then I'm going to roll another d6. So, Mixie and um, Ludwika, you have actions.
I'll go.
Okay.
It seems like a good time to try to jump. Gravity is certainly on my side at this moment. So I'm just gonna run and jump and try to make it over to the core.
All right, sounds good. You remember you have that +6 total from uh, the plan that you guys had talked about earlier.
Yep. Valor vigor check.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's where you gotta go.
I mean, it's not bad, but dear Lord.
I mean, if there's anything other narratively that makes sense, but that one's the
Nope.
easiest one.
Nope. That's what we're doing. Here we go. Oh, so shitty. Uh, I. Ugh. I will spend the 2 saga points I have to make it a 16.
Okay. You get other pluses too because the gravity is lightened that much. In a beautiful stroke, not since painted by like the ancients, of a droid soaring through the air through the lava to land gracefully on its 6 plated feet at the lip, landing onto the lip of, and inside you see Chot the crab tar fighting with Ludwika on the interior
Ah,
as your how I should mention too, your fedora was flapping in the wind as you made it and managed to dodge a bubble. It was gorgeous and beautiful. If anyone does fan art who's listening to this, I would love to see that.
Yes, please.
Ludwika, you have an action.
I'm gonna try and knock him out again.
Okay. Yeah. Give me. Oh. Uh. Yep. I'll trigger at the end of the round.
Sorry, was there something I needed to wait for?
Nope. No, you go.
Okay. I don't have any saga points left, so
Okay. 9.
I
That's
guess I
all
have
right.
one left, but I'll still stick to the 9.
Okay. Well, not that I need to be sharing this information, but I don't have any either. So there you go. I got a 7, but Vert says you're 9, so I take 2. I do have armor, so it's -1. So Shot is still up, but he
Okay.
is he is getting beat up. You're beating him about the head and shoulders quite well. He's just flailing away as like, I'm the religious one, like kneel before Demru. So you're just cracking me in the face with your weapon. Uh,
I
Um,
realize I'm not gonna have time to ask him questions probably, so it probably doesn't matter, and I can just take him down. But I feel bad. I feel guilty for taking out an experiment, and I don't want to take him. I don't want to kill him. He's just a poor victim.
is he?
I know.
Is he? I don't know. Only the laboratory knows. I am going to take a shot at Mr. Crystal as the flailing, blinded Demru tries to find a target. I'm at -6. All right, but I have 66, but I don't have any dice right now. So I got a 3. Because I rolled so badly, I'm not gonna make you. I'm pretty sure you just pass that as the shot just goes wild. But it will take out another mercenary. So there's 4 mercenaries left. As you are get up to the top. All right, we have Mixie, Ludwika at the terraforming in the middle of the island. Mr. Crystal has leapt to the other side of the interior of the volcanic wall, smashing into it, triggering homecoming. As you feel now that you've used the fell blade, the spark of the red gem, you realize it's not a red gem. It's made of some other material that you are not familiar with. You are mineral born. You know your minerals, and you do not know this mineral. It is sending out a homing beacon. It's calling for something. You feel that you can feel it ripple through the essence once you use the weapon. Now that you've used the weapon, every time you use the weapon, I get a tension point automatically, no matter what. Okay? So I do get a tension point. And as this realization is coming to you from the opening of the volcano, a small uh, battle skiff lowers down into the volcano. On top is a figure that you all recognize, adding another complication. So, this is the tension table. So, someone has joined the fight who is a complication, not necessarily immediately wanting to blow you out of the sky, but will want something from you. And I will start the twist part of the tension table that it is Al Atet who is coming down from the ship, emblazoned with the Warhawks emblem on the side. That's my suggestion for a twist. Does anyone have any other ideas? Because it could be anything. It could be a disgruntled Murph. It could be the idea of Prince Joyson is hilarious. Or
That's what I was
Gunner.
gonna say, was
Yeah.
Prince Joyson.
So throw all your ideas. What do you got? What do you think makes the best story here?
I mean, I'm still going with Prince Joyson, so that's my twist.
Okay. Do you want to add anything on there, like why he's there?
Um,
You don't have to. Like just saying Prince Joyson is enough.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'd have to think on that one.
Okay.
I have a couple ideas, but I'll think about it.
Okay.
What if Alatet had her arm around his waist?
Oh, oh my God! Is Alatet in Prince Joyson? Okay. All right.
Does that
Yeah.
complicate things?
Very complicated.
I can't do any better than that. I'm good.
I like. Boy. Like. Let me just take a quick look at your character sheets. Um, on the campaign builder. Who do we have? The Covenant. Clever. Like what you could throw Needler or the Wrath or Plubber. I don't think. Um, no, yeah, I like that. I like that. So now we got to figure out like that's the complication. How does that make sense? So Alatet in Prince Joyson, obviously an item. Is that what we're saying? Or it looks like they're an item right now. Maybe we'll stick with that. Okay. All right. Um, and so they come down this hover like war vehicle of some sort, and they start opening fire on who or what? And it cannot be Demru.
Well, we know the Warhawks were going to turn on us. That was sort of the clue we were given, right? So it seems like they're going to just start clearing the room of all these mercs because they're just trying to clear the board.
Okay. All right. Um, interesting. Yeah. All right. They'll take a shot at one of the mercs. We'll get you down to 3 mercenaries now. Okay. Top of the round. Does anyone want to spend 2 tension or saga points to go first? Okay. Then I'm going to go. I've got what? We're gonna kill a mercenary. Kill a mercenary. That's really where Demer's at right now. We're gonna save their last action because I really want to use one of their attacks, but Demer is badly messed up.
But
um.
before I forget, did us adding that complexity give us a unity point?
Yes, I did. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yes, by taking the twist, you now have 3 unity points. All right. We're going to add in another bit as a much larger ship starts to come down on the outside. It's not the Warhawks, but it's one of your competitors as they start to begin a drilling process on the outside of the volcano to get to the energy source. The volcano structure was erratic at best, especially with where we're at with the terraforming. More rocks, more lava, more awfulness. The steam mander is starting to rise up out of the lake a bit because of the gravity. So I am going to um, Al Atet is going to level her laser pistol at one of the mercenaries as she takes fire, missing, but she hollers out, "Where's that scurvy Mr. Crystal? I need your hide in one piece to get you home. You'll be owing me for this, boy." As she, remembering from her pirate background, as uh, Prince Joyson is operating the controls, trying to do the flying, and trying to peer about, and lowers a like grappling hook, grabber sort of thing from the bottom of it to try and grab one of the larger energy spheres as he's trying to go. He's like, as he looks over, he's like, Ludwika, my dear,
I'm
so
like
good.
in the orb. Can he see me?
Well, you're in the capsule, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He looks over because they just came down. He's like, yeah, oh, my dear, so good to see you. You're not still smitten, are you?
No, I had that taken care of.
You've got rid of the smitten. Okay, all right, fair enough. Well, you know what I do want to do though? How does this make you feel?
Um, it is confused more than anything. Just like, what is he doing here? Also, I'm busy. Like trying to compartmentalize and be like, we deal with that
I
later. Right
nope,
now, I'm
nope.
fighting a guy.
I need you to feel your emotions here. Give me what you're feeling from your gut reaction.
Does confused not count?
Confused does not count. Like,
That's
is
not an
it
emotion.
jealousy? Is it anger? Is it
Um,
like s- super happy?
sure. Um, I mean, I'd probably go more like the kind of excited route. Like, oh, I thought it'd be a while before we saw each other again. But so yeah, probably more on the happy side.
All right,
But
perfect.
also, I gotta fight a thing. So
Well, this
later.
is a part of the honor-bound world as the thrill of a past acquaintance, lover,
Yep.
suddenly shows up on the scene. Can I have you roll a panache valor check? I'll be rolling dice first, though, so you'll know what you gotta be.
Okay.
I got a 10.
This is not. Oh.
Okay, you are distracted right now. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Back to the top. We're getting flip back to your times, except I've got Chot left to go. Does either Mixie or Ludwika want to spend a saga point to go before Chot?
No.
I don't have any saga points.
Okay. All right. Chot will continue to attack Ludwika. Definitely sees her as threat 'cause that's the one they've been fighting. As he lunges forward, doing so badly. I know that your numbers aren't very good either for dueling. So, do you want to duel or Valor to get out of the way, or
I'm
what do
gonna
you want to do?
duel.
Okay.
So dual vigor.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Why
Hey,
are we rolling so badly?
we're not built. Neither one of us are built fighters. Let's be honest here. All right. Um, in Chot though is down to his last. Like he is holding on because you get a 4, I get a 6. You got a shield for 1, so you did 1 damage. He's got 1 left. All right. Chot is holding on as he goes like, "May the spirit of Demru destroy you." As he reaches out his hand, as he tried to attack you, he invokes Demru's command. Demru is going to make an attack on Ludvika. Now,
Okay.
it is going to be a big one, and I have some tension points. It's going to be 66 is the attack. Now I am blinded, right? So I'm at 10. I'm going to spend. Can I get to? Yeah, I'm going to spend 2 tension points to try and hit you with the force beam
Okay.
and hit you for 18 points of damage. Now, you can try and dodge it.
I'd like to try to dodge. Can I use like valor mysticism to like shield essentially? Like I don't know if it'd be I guess maybe it's not a shield, maybe it's more of a dodge. I was envisioning like ducking behind something else in this core. That's
I
push.
would allow that if that was a mystical attack. But this is
Sure.
because it's a physical attack, it's gotta be a vigor.
Okay, got it.
How many dice does that give you, Ludwika?
Oh, 4.
Over my dead body.
What does distracted do?
I'm going to take the hit.
Okay,
Ooh.
so first I'm gonna answer Rachel's question. So distracted means is that you want to interact with Prince Joyson, right? That's what you want to do. Anytime you're not doing that, you're gonna be distracted. So maybe that's probably why you just maybe was looking over your shoulder when you attempt to get shot.
Sure.
However, Mr. Crystal, Aaron, tell me what Mr. Crystal, what does this look like? I don't think we've used this before.
Yeah, so the little ray gun comes up and takes aim, guided by our Crab Tar's invocation, and Mr. Crystal throws himself on top of it and grabs it and pulls it close.
All right,
Takes the hit.
mechanically, how does that work?
Well, fair enough. Draw the attack for a conflict meant for someone you have a bond with. Reduce the damage taken by 3.
Oh,
Oh,
so I
just
still
oh
roll the thing.
no. You don't take anything. Mr.
Okay.
Crystal is taking everything.
Okay.
So
Mr. Just
you let me double check that how that's written. Draw the attack, move
Yeah, I
some
may have some old language there.
taken by 3, so 15. Oh, okay. So you can give me a vigor valor and then basically it's a +3, really, versus my 18.
All right. So, and I get two saga points.
Oh, you do.
So I will so 10. So it's +3. So if I spend 1, I'm up to 17 of the 18.
Yep. And you
Okay.
have it reduced because of the ability. Yeah, you've erased all the damage. You've heroically leapt in front and grabbed onto it. You are now sinking quickly towards the lava, but you have prevented, uh, I'm going to guess, Ludwika's assured demise from getting hit for an 18. All right, perfect. So that was Chot. It's you guys' actions now at this point. Even Mr. Crystal, because that is just one of your abilities that you can do. That doesn't take your action.
I'm gonna take one more, just knock him out shot. And I'm gonna be like,
Okay.
Prince Joyson, watch!
Perfect.
Really roll something good. I'll spend 1 saga point to make it 11.
Okay. I'm out of tension points again. So I got a 9. You did it! You did 1 point of damage. That's what you needed to do.
Just such neat.
uh, as you finally bludgeon Chot down as he collapses onto the floor of the thing. And now at this point, now that he's gone down, I need to roll a d6. 5. Gravity is still very light as of right now. Mixie, what do you want to do?
I'm at like the terraforming center now, right? Like I
Mm-hmm.
watch all this whole epic battle take place in front of me, right?
Yep.
Okay. I want to move in and start uh, working on the computer and start downloading what I need to out of this computer.
Okay. Sounds good. Um, so you're okay. What do we think? What do you think you're doing here? So it's probably like what, a weave check, or you're thinking something different? What are you thinking?
It could be like a weave wits sort of Like computers check.
You're trying to download your consciousness fully into Mixie, right? Or are you trying to fully into the capsule, into a portable chip of some sort?
I think I if Mixie counts as a portable into Mixie, but I'm not going to have all of it available to me through Mixie, but all of it will be downloaded into Mixie. So Mixie's essentially one big walk-in USB drive, right?
Yeah.
I'm just getting it all in there, and then I can take that to my body.
Okay.
Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
100%. This is not going to be easy. This was part of your untold story of doing this. So, um, boy, let's go. Was it 9, 13, 17, 21?
Can I? Is this an environment conflict?
It would be an environment conflict.
I'm going to Legend says.
All right. Tell us what that looks like.
So I get to half an environment conflict, so it's now an 11. For everyone in this area for this scene, I also have to introduce new canon to go with this.
Yep. What do you know that because your
Right,
lore is so high, you know stuff? What do
right.
you know that enables this by introducing new
Uh,
lore to the game?
Legend says, I mean, this isn't really new canon. I was just thinking more like I'm in the same room and I know like enough about Raven Tech stuff that I'm kind of able to just like assist the process. But it does say to introduce new lore. Um, uh, the new lore
Maybe
is that
a universal password or like a universal backdoor program wise. Uh,
sure.
a what else? If anyone has any ideas.
I like I like that. That there's a universal backdoor into all things Raven Tech.
I think just all
That
things, period. And if you
oh,
know it,
all
you get
things
a little bit of a
great.
bonus. Now,
Oh,
everyone knows that there's a universal thing, but yeah,
I actually
let's,
know.
yeah, yep, you actually know it. Yeah, perfect.
Mm,
Okay.
I'm cool with that.
So right now you only need an 11.
Well, I don't have a saga point.
No,
Oh
no, no.
no.
Uh,
So
something I
Are
should have
you?
said, something I should have said earlier, you do have a saga point. Because I do want to reward excellent role playing. Putting the hat on, flying across. Yeah, you can have a saga point for that. I
we're
love
going for
that.
that.
Yeah, it's okay.
There,
I was
here
only
goes
gonna say,
nothing.
are we really saving our unity point for like an all for one or whatever? Because
No.
like I have really good computer hacking. That's I'm right there. I don't know what you're rolling.
I'm plugging in. We'll see what happens here.
Okay.
Oh
Hey, I didn't need the
yeah,
saga point anyway.
not a problem. Easy.
The
Uh,
easy? You call that easy?
you
Woof.
plug in. I need you to give me another check though.
Okay.
That one kind of check that you have to do.
Ah,
I'm trying to remember. It was 5 dice, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I didn't bring that up yet.
I got an 11. I'm gonna spend a touch point. I'm gonna go 14.
Is it 5 for me?
For you, it was here. I can look it up real quick.
Yeah, thanks. I don't have it up yet.
Yeah. Ah. Okay. So there's there for the phenomenon. Wits duel versus my 14.
I can't beat that.
Okay, perfect. Um, gain the condition. What was the name of the wooden horse? Trojan horse. What was the name of the Trojan horse? Oh yeah, Trojan horse. Gain the condition Trojan horse.
Okay.
All right, perfect. You have plugged in. You are downloading your consciousness, streaming to you in a series of ones and zeros and ones and zeros, and it's just flooding. You can see the Matrix, Neo. You know, as it's your consciousness, your soul, whatever you want to call it, as a living AI. You're not even quite sure what this strange feeling is. All you know that it's data portable, and you're downloading it. Okay, Mr. Crystal, you haven't gone yet. There is Alatet calling you out.
Oh, I'm still on the death bot.
Oh,
And
right.
it just tried to kill my
You're
friend.
plummeting to your death. Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, forgot
yeah.
about that. One thing at a time.
Yeah, we're still going down into the
Yeah,
lava here.
yeah.
Oh boy. I'm gonna try to pick an option other than aggressive right now, so I have to pass a test 9 to not be violent.
Okay.
What test would that be?
So that was put in to you because of Moon Song, right? From the torture that Moon Song had taken. I believe that was a panache test. So panache valor, probably. Ooh, well, that's hilarious. Uh, hey, easy come, easy go if you want to pass, I guess.
No, you know what? It just tried to kill my friend. So I'm just gonna be going total aggro on this guy, yelling something like, "Don't you hurt my friend!"
Okay.
and attack again with the blade.
All right, perfect. What I'm going to do here is that I'm going to gain a tension point because you're using the blade, and um, when you stab into Demru this time, as the laser blade slices into it, you see right before the edge of the blade hits Demru, you see the circuitry on the outside of Demru part and fray before the blade gets there. And then the blade cleaves in, doing the killing blow to Demru. It's because I didn't want you didn't have to do a roll because you were already so close, but to leap off of the plummeting Demru and to escape the maw of the steam manor that's rising out of the pond of lava at this point is I'm going to need a valor, I think probably of 12. But you get a +3 total because gravity is light right now.
Is that vigor valor or just straight up valor?
Vigor valor. We're doing a lot of vigor valors this fight, but
Works for me. That's a good one for me.
yeah.
There's a
Oh, okay.
tension point for you.
Yep.
Jeez, I'm just rocking the tension points today.
Yeah, I'll take it. So it was a 12, but you got the +3, so you got it. The nearest thing to jump onto or grab onto is going to be the war skiff.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you launch your way up, fingertips grabbing onto the edge of the skiff to be able to pull yourself one-handed as Alatet wheels upon you with pistol drawn. And she goes like, "You're gonna make me rich, boy. So glad to have you aboard." Um, Joyson has managed to grab onto one of the spheres and brings the skiff to the side of the thing as he like motions like grabbing around the waist of Alatet, also reaches out a hand towards Ludvika. It's like, my dear, come join us. Leave your bot. Come, let's leave this place. Um, he is very persuasive. It's going to be a panache check to resist his charms. Um, he's off his game right now, though, and he got a 9. I am going to spend a tension point to put it at 12. All right, so it's going to be a panache. What kind of skill do you think you want to use to try and avoid
Would
his
be
charms?
probably valor.
Yeah,
Kind of like a willpowery kind of thing.
yeah, I think it's willpower too. Yep. So you're trying to beat a 12.
I have 1 saga point if I need it,
Okay.
which I do.
Okay. You want to spend it? Well, let me tell you
Yeah.
what was going to happen. The difference would be how much honor you lose
Oh,
by
okay.
not listening to him,
Sure. No,
because it's
I will
just so
spend the saga
compelling.
point and say my bot stays with me.
And he's just kind of like startled by your like abrupt answer, and he's like, "Oh, okay, but of course, all right, yeah, bring the bot." Uh,
Sorry, I didn't mean to snap. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
uh, Gareth, you two may now scuttle up the ship. Now, here's what's going on in the cabin of what's left of the um, terraforming capsule. The drill from one of the ships from the outside is making the environment even more unstable. Now that Demru has gone offline, there is no what do they call it? Governor to any of the fluctuations of the terraforming capsule anymore. Demru was the one that was connected to it. Now that Demru's down, the planet is in dire shape. Tectonic flows. The volcano's already starting to collapse. Things are awful. You hear Mixie, you hear coming over your comm, um, Royce going like, "I'm going over the top, lads. Meet me there and get on the drop ship so we can get the hell out of here." Flies over, but the drilling thing from outside is starting to collapse everything. Here's what I would say. If you would like to end your story here, this would be a good time for an all for one check. Um, because there's a couple of different things you can avoid instead of doing this roll by roll by roll. Remember, you have the orbital drone that you have to avoid. There are the Warhawks. There is Raven Tech out there forming up a kind of a blockade. Um, and you have just the general collapse of the planet. Those are all the things that are happening right now. Um, what would you like to do? You guys tell me.
I mean, getting back to Royce and the ship, right? Like is the ultimate goal, and avoiding all of the horrible things that are happening at the same time. Like that's Gareth's goal, right? With perhaps the exception of making sure that the other two are coming to. Like he's not above murdering the prince, like that kind of stuff. He'll do it.
This is it. Do we
Uh,
know that Alatet is like trying to kidnap Mr. Crystal right now?
like all these things, right? Like
What if instead of it being a huge swashbuckling thing, uh So Gareth, how do we? What are you now that we're trying to get off the planet? Like what form are you in?
Yeah. Just Mixie, right? Like everything is downloaded into Mixie. Now we just have to get Mixie to the old body to get it into that. Easy.
So two possibilities. One is we swashbuckle our way into control of Alatet's ship.
Yeah.
Another is that we strike a deal and Mr. Crystal ends up in Carbonite and you two get dropped off at the ship. We convince her
No.
to lift us off.
Well,
What are some
remember,
others?
we can tell whatever story that we want here, and I'm happy to work with you. You don't necessarily have to go into Carbonite, right? But it's a bounty. She is collecting a bounty, right? Now, how that gets resolved, there's a lot of different ways we can do that. Um, even to the point of escaping again, you know? Let me present this idea. Basically, just trying to get off the planet and get back to collect the contract, right? So here's what I'm going to say. With the firefight happening upstairs, you're on the war skiff going up to the drop ship that can get to the MV plunder donkey to avoid the orbital drone. Let's make this the all for one conflict,
Mhm.
and each of you tell the story of how you're helping get away to get back to your planet, or basically to fulfill your contract. Because you have enough on the plunder donkey for that one-way trip, right?
Right.
Now, Joyson now has X amount too, which may be a competitor contract, but we can deal with that later. So, what things do you guys do to help get out of here? The other reason is that we've been doing this for about an hour and a half. I know Rachel's dying, and I'm kind of dying too. So,
That is fine. Um,
think about it. I'm gonna grab a drink real quick.
I've pretty much used up all my skills and tips and tricks and gear and all of that.
right.
Me too. I got no tricks left.
Is this everyone out of saga points?
Yeah, I'm out of saga points.
And just general, I have saga points, but like no cool like abilities left or anything, you know, like uh so we'll see.
The number you got to beat is 45.
And what number do we roll? We used to have like a separate row that was our for all number. Is that different now?
No, the for all roll that it wasn't a for all roll. That was if you wanted to use a unity point to borrow someone
Oh,
else's skill
gotcha, gotcha.
number.
Okay.
This roll is for the all for one roll. It's you decide what you're doing, and then for your skill,
Yep.
then we add everyone's together as you tell. This is you guys' turn. You take over the story. You get to do the big thing that you want to do, and hopefully you succeed. And even if you don't, that also is a very entertaining tale as well. You guys have never failed an all for one roll. Um, so if you do, then we can find out what happens. It looks a lot like when you succeed, except I get to tell more of the story. That's all.
uh and this is like from here onto the on the skiff to the ship and leaving the system, right? It's like all can all be part of that, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Um
Get back into your body. Like if you want to have that be your part, if that would help,
Uh, yeah. Here's my part. Uh, unless somebody has something before we get back to the plunder donkey.
Is Nails the Iliad still alive, the head of the Warhawks?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm gonna grab the CB radio or whatever it is that these things
Sure.
use,
Yeah.
and I'm going to attempt to charm mystic connection with him.
Okay, to do what? Well, you know what?
Uh,
Don't tell me. Let's let the
okay.
dice find out, right? Okay. Yeah. I love it. All right, so that's what Mr. Crystal's doing. Um, Mixie? Ludwika?
Uh,
Uh, go ahead if you got something.
I don't. So if
Okay.
you're I didn't know if we had to like have a way we're getting back to the plunder donkey because right now we're on Alatet's thing, right?
I'm fine with just getting delivered there.
Okay.
That can be part of the story, right?
Yeah,
Now, the complications that come from her being here, that'll just be addressed later then. You know, that's
sure.
all. You're really just delaying some problems till later.
Right. Like Mr. Crystal having a bounty or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Okay.
what does this mean for you in Prince Joyson? Like,
Right.
Uh, I want. I mean, it's going to be Mixie and my old body, and downloading. Uh, my consciousness into the body. Uh,
huh?
I want. Nah, it doesn't really work. I kind of want Mixie to have this awesome like goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Like that could be a role for next adventure too, if you want it to be.
yeah,
But it's up to you, you know. What
yeah.
are you gonna do to help? Because the idea is to escape. What can you do to try and help escape? So if
I ca- I kind of wanted Mixie to have a sort of like to be able to sabotage something and help make a lane of escape for us, essentially. Um, even if it was, I kind of want. Well, I'm not sure that's too much.
You want me
well,
to I have my idea now if
You
you
got your idea? Go for it, Rachel.
yeah.
I'll come back.
I was gonna try on Alatet's things. I would like to try a little I guess it'd be hacking. I wanna try to make sure they can't like follow our trail. They can't like track
oh,
us as we go on.
oh, okay. So that's interesting. So then this is
Because
specifically to sabotage Alated and Prince
yeah.
Joyson's ship.
Well, whatever we're on that's taking us to the plunder donkey.
Oh, you want to abandon them on the planet?
Wait, was the plunder donkey all the way on planet? I thought it was like out in orbit or something.
No, yeah,
Sorry.
the Pluto Donkey is in orbit. You're right. You're on, but the skiff is going up to the drop
Right.
ship. The drop ship's going to go to the Plunder Donkey.
And where are we getting dropped off by Alatet?
To their
So
drop ship
Dropship.
that
Okay, got
Royce
it.
so
is piloting.
how's this is a possibility? I'm going to contact Nails, the head of the Warhawks, who's it presumably Elatet's boss at the moment. If she's joined the Warhawks, there's
Sure.
something that happens. I talk him into something, and then I love Garrett's idea of like sabotaging, and Ludwika also sabotaging, and we escape with their skiff.
Oh. I
We
was
trick
actually gonna
Oh,
them.
say I'm gonna sabotage to make them drop their energy thing is actually what I want to do. But
Yes,
that's
and
so mean. Uh, Prince Joyson can't have any nice things.
Keeps messing up my plans.
I mean, yeah, he is. Okay. So do we feel good about what we're doing here for your plan?
I think I got mine for real then.
Okay.
I'm not we're not getting rid of Mixie yet.
Okay.
But I want to do as Mixie is uploading into Gareth. As part of that, I want to like through the weave, uh, spread a little bit of Gareth into the other ships that are close. Uh, just enough to be able to scramble systems, um, so that they don't know we're there, and any sort of nav coordinates to what was happening on the planet is just sort of messed
Oh,
up
okay. Okay. So basically trying to get rid of any existence of the planet.
as much as we can. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, sounds good. Yeah, let's see some dice rolls. Let's see how this happens, and then we're gonna string the story together based on what how the dice rolls go.
All right, so I'm going to attempt to essentially charm Nails, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds great.
Connect with him and convince him to do us a solid.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Oh my god. Okay.
Heyo.
All right, one.
I will buy 2 to get me up to 20.
Nice.
And then with Ludwika, so that puts you at 28 with Ludwika's 8 added in there. And what'd you need? 45?
Yeah.
Um,
Can I?
good.
Does this count as a conflict that could be? Wait, would I need a saga point to use my once per escapade legacy thing? Is that a saga point cost?
What's your legacy thing? Where did
I've
we come
got a
from?
bad feeling about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would I need a
I'm
saga
fine
point
with
for
that.
that?
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't have a saga point, so then I can't use it. I was
Oh
gonna use it
no.
on
Oh,
myself.
sorry. You were asking if it costs anything. No, it doesn't cost
Yeah.
anything. Sorry.
Oh, then I'm gonna do that on myself.
Okay. So
I've
tell
got a bad
everyone
feeling
what
about
you're
this.
using and what that looks like.
Called I've got a bad feeling about this, and I get to immediately after a conflict has been resolved by a player, they may redo the last action as long as they choose as they do not do the same conflict.
So you have to do something different.
Right.
Yeah. So a different story.
Uh, right, exactly.
I'll do mine real quick before you do it, Rachel.
All
Okay.
right.
It's
Yeah. It
networking check.
yeah. It may be all for naught. Like Gareth may.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh,
He might rock it.
I'll spend 2 saga points
Okay.
to make it 19.
Okay. Yeah. That gets you there. Now, one. What's another one? All right. This is. Tell me right now, so I don't forget this. How many saga points does Gareth have?
0.
Ludwika
0.
and Mr. Crystal.
4.
Nice.
Oh, damn it. All right, I will tell you what that means here in just a second. It's a new mechanic that is in the book right now. It's going to be printed. Okay, here we go. Um, yeah, you succeed. You succeed. So, I think it starts with Mr. Crystal. You succeed and you contact Nails, and what is it that you're telling him?
Uh, we we're Iliod. We're mineral born. We live through the weave. And the mission that we're on right now seeks to save the very weave itself. And we need his help to save not just the weave, but all Iliad. and
So
he's
what do
got
you?
to call off Elatat and bring us. Yeah, and then I'm going to set it up for the others to do whatever it is they're going to do. So get him his guard down and get him to welcome us in.
Okay. You see the war guns on the ship turn and wheel about towards Raven Tech as they broadside their main transport, knocking it out of orbit as it heads down into fiery into the planet, making a way, uh, an escape route to be able to escape. Ludwika, what were you doing?
I as we're on this thing heading up, um, I'm like, thank you for the assistance, and I try to play into the fact that Joyce, and I guess maybe then this would have been like a charm instead of sabotage, but that he thinks I'm kind of distracted by him. But I like lean on something that I think is gonna accidentally drop the energy. Like
As you're like, oh,
I'm
it
like trying to
seemed
awkwardly flirt, like, "Hey, oh, I'm sorry.
Prince
I didn't do
Joyson.
anything bad."
How do you want this to play out? Um, what kind of reaction? Because you won the role, right?
Right.
What do you want his reaction to be? Do you want it to be one of, c'est la vie, what, easy come, easy go, haha, dashing pirate? Or do you want him to have just a reaction of greed overcoming him? You get to decide this because you guys won the role.
I think I mean, I was envisioning there being, like, a greedy response.
Okay. If that's what you
He's like,
want,
"What have you done?" Like, that kinda thing.
yeah, 100%. Prince Joyce just goes like, "What have you done, Ludwika? You've
"It was
always
an
been that
accident, I'm sorry."
clumsy little girl. I'll be glad to be rid of you." All right, so anything you had related to Prince Joyson, you can delete those things for conditions if you had any left at this point.
I was just distracted still.
Okay. And if you wish, you can add Scorn on there, but we might save that for later. If he
Okay.
pops back up, we can get a Scorn thing going on. Okay, perfect. And Mixie.
Mostly transferring the data right over. Uh, I think it's Mixie's last thing. Like everything gets downloaded back into Gareth R, and then with a little bit of Gareth that's still in Mixie, um, and that this lingering consciousness that's still there as it's fading away. She just starts sending little Trojan horses, if you will, wooden horses, as you say, into different ships and the different entities. Um, that is just gonna try to like all of a sudden like just blipping information out, right? Like nav coordinates and intel they've got on the planet, all that kind of stuff. And it's coming from a source that they think is safe, was previously, right? But it's just sort of, pink, 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 and like things are just sort of deleting as it, they slowly um, revert back to the Mixie that was always there.
As Royce is just thankful that Mixie is back to acting normal. She'd been just very erratic. Thank God. Like, I think, I think she even like threatened me at one time. Oh, as you get up to the dropship, get Royce on there as Alatet in Prince Joyson. Um, I mean, Alatat's gonna come with you. All right, Joyson is not. So Joyce is going to take off this way. Well, no, because you wanted to lose them. All right, now. All right, so they'll both go back to the Warhawks ship. There's now a slight opening between Raven Tech as you're back on the Plunder Donkey, giving you just that bare fraction of a window that's open to be able to hit your thrusters, your engines, to be able to plow through back towards the gate that is opening up to be able to get back to the contracted location. As you're leaving this planet, you can see out of the portholes, the planet itself is basically just imploding. It was never meant to be a stabilized environment when they found it. That's why it was such a valuable resource. Is that there's these things, the same thing as like time crystals that are stable materials that have a quark that actually is shared between two elements. So it was perpetual energy that is created that way, but it's incredibly unstable and usually only exists for like a second at a time. But through the terraforming efforts, had created a whole planet through it, the and everything, and then with now that Demru is not regulating everything, the whole planet just collapses in on itself. And thankfully, you've blanked out a lot of the information, so people will forget and that this energy source is here. Maybe it's hidden away, or maybe it got blown out into somewhere into the cosmos. Something like that. As you manage to escape back home, everyone is alive and healthy, maybe with a few more scars, a few more trophies than what you once had when you came to this planet. There is just a lingering thought in the back of your head, Gareth Carr, that you're never truly going to have forgotten or left Mixie behind. And you found every once in a while just a little bit of a stutter. And scene. Way to go, guys. Woo! That was big. That was one of the bigger ones that we've done. Um, yeah, way to go. So here's the new thing. We've finished this escapade. So we should do it in order, but I'm actually just going to skip to this part real quick. All right. Because Aaron had 4 saga points left. Okay. I had 3 tension points left. You guys tell the next part of the overarching story. I will tell you. So it's like running a twist. So what happens next in this chapter? There's only like 2 more chapters before the resolution of the planet of your dream state has to be fulfilled. But something good has happened here. You understand that the fell blade, the bit, the red gem in it, that material, is a part of Dugan Red that's calling out to it. So tell me the story. What happens by tying up the loose ends? And how we do that is I have to look stuff up in the rulebook. Can't play. All right, let's wrap up some loose ends. Okay, one of the loose ends that you guys get to talk about because you guys won the role and everything in the between it. Alatet in the bounty hunter thing. That is a loose end. You can elect to leave that till the next adventure, or you can tie it up right now and tell the story because you won. So you can tell how it happens. You escape, or it's up to you. I think probably because it is Mr. Crystal, it's probably your choice on this one.
Aaron should decide what this happens. Yeah, how this happens for sure.
Oh, it's good. It continues. Yeah, Elatet and I have unfinished business for sure.
Okay. So we'll save Alatet for the start of the next adventure. All right. What other loose ends do we really have on this one? What about the crab tars? Are they all just dead? Which were they really alive in the first place? there's that whole question in and of itself too.
I mean, yeah, they're probably all dead if the planet kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
But maybe
Okay.
they're better off rather than being these like experimented on creatures that
Yikes.
Yeah.
I know, I can't believe I just said that. I don't know.
Well, is there the loose end of their creation? Is that part of sort of the Raven Tech? Is that part of their
Yeah.
loose end there for you, Rachel?
Yep. Um, yeah, I mean, I think part of definitely gave me more of a motivation to reveal Raven Tech's unethical work.
Sure. Did you guys
I don't know
get
that I managed to save any of the information about the crab towers.
one thing I will say is that the meal that you guys ate now and like because you grabbed a piece of it, Ludvika, to research later on it. When you guys ate with the crab tars, if any of you guys had failed that roll, you would have ingested larva is what you did, and that would have started the process of turning into a crab tar.
Um,
But each of
I
you
would
like
have liked to figure out
s-
if it was reversible, but we didn't have a chance to do that.
yeah, yep, everything kind of all blew up. What about Warhawks in Raven Tech or like the Warhawks themselves? Did you guys get any enemies here? Any new enemies? Um, like Chot, not really. He's a lower level enemy anyway. He's dead. Demru, more of an automaton sort of thing. That's more of a Raven Tech line. Um,
But
so I don't
Raven
know.
Tech in general probably just knows, like, we're higher up on their, you
Yes,
know,
Yeah.
they just, generally they know we are a problem
yeah.
uh,
I
as an
think
organization anyway.
I think we can really emphasize Raven Tech as the main enemy at this point, right?
Yeah.
They're the main people. Okay, perfect. All right, so then that's the loose ends. That looks good. Hand out the rewards. We've done all that stuff. Patron stuff we're not going to worry about. Um, all right, so then here is the experience points. So, did you keep your word despite any penalties? I don't think there was anything that came up in this adventure for that.
We did. We were supposed to save the members of the crew, right? There was a secondary contract,
There
and
was
I
in all
think
of them.
everybody survived. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. So everyone can add 9 trinkets on
Oh,
top of
thanks.
their. Yeah. Yep. That was the further rewards. Good job. Thank you for reminding me. Did you express courtly love? I think everyone during the adventure got in on a little bit of relationship stuff. I think.
I mean, I did before I turned into
Yeah.
a
Yep.
truck.
Yes. Yeah, I think
It
everyone
did
is.
not end. I had much more courtly love in mind before that happened.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I the first tension break that I got, I crossed them off and I just made a note right here is that I was gonna try and get her to like, yeah, start a bit of a relationship and then talk you into just leaving, like with her. Because then she's like, well, hey, I've got this, I know this about you. Like, we should just go. Um, I was trying to work up different ways to try and make that enticing. Um, but yeah, and then you both like almost died, and I was like,
Then
oh,
go
well, I can't do that anymore. Um,
away.
okay. Brave in daring to aid others. I think Mr. Crystal for sure. Um, anyone else want to throw something out there? It's fair.
I, I think Ledwika teleporting to go fight the crab tar all by herself
Yeah,
on behalf of Gareth was pretty gutsy for someone who doesn't have a lot of dice in fighting.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Yep, for sure.
Thanks.
That's a good one. Let's see. Now, there are also, if there's any unity points left, you can get experience point for each one that's left. But that was 0. Did you complete an untold story? Which I believe Gareth Carr did, so you get 2 experience points. And then finally, did you finish an escapade? Yes, all of you get 3 more experience points. And that's all the experience point stuff. And then now the end credit scene. So here's the idea. It's written as it's written right now. After the camera is panned away from the characters celebrating another victorious epic adventure or failure, ominous music sets in as a new scene begins to filter into focus. A familiar evil adjusts their plans or creeps forward, plotting the destruction of our heroes. So the player with the most saga points at the end of the escapades begins by describing a scene far away from the characters. It must include a person, nation, or faction of people somehow related to the current escapade. Each other player, in order of saga points, adds to the scene to describe what imaginary audience is seeing. And this relates to now, because you guys had more saga points, and Aaron's going to kick us off here. So pick someone from this escapade as being part of the big bad. And if you need your notes to be refreshed, take a look at the story so far, which is on the Covenant one. So the calamity spotted at the edge of the universe, the Iliod prophecy, humanity satellite, infected Iliod being examined by a cabal of bishops. What is the next chapter of the big bad thing that you guys get to tell since you won on the dice rolls?
Oh boy, we got a lot of good stuff here.
So remember what happened in the escapade, right?
Yeah.
A person, a group, or a nation, or monster, or whatever, right? So choose one of those from this adventure. Start there.
I'm gonna go a tiny bit sideways on this one. The CEO of Raven Tech
Yep. Yep. Love it.
is sitting down, sitting across the table in almost like a recording studio, and sitting across from him is one of the most trusted people in the universe, the voice of the cosmos. And he's explaining to the voice of the cosmos what their next step is.
Perfect. Eric, do you want to add? Or you have to add. It's not a question, you have
Yeah,
to.
yeah. Uh, this conversation is happening, and ev the galaxy is just getting a really good idea of how awesome Raven Tech is and how their technology is going to save it. But as the camera pans back a little bit, you just see the uh, the back of someone who's watching them, and they're wearing a. You can see like Raven Tech uh, uniform, like not just a tech, but like some sort of executive. But they're wearing like the Raven Tech jacket essentially, and as it pans to their face, uh, it's Gareth Carr's face,
uh,
and he's just
uh,
watching and listening.
uh, Rachel.
That felt like a pretty complete scene right there.
It's incredibly compelling, yeah. What?
um, he's watching and listening, but then like the focus fades or changes. So like you know how it's something like blurs what's in the front and it clears up what's behind him.
Mhm.
And I don't know what is there. I'm trying to just make the scene dramatic.
Sure. Yeah.
And there's like a wall, like a one of those like Pepe Sylvia like yarn wall kind of things. That has like pictures of like mutated things like the crab tars and the and yeah, just like other unidentifiable even like steamanders and things like that. There's just like all these like hodgepodge mix. Oh, the what were the dragon things, the space
Yeah.
dragons.
Yeah, the razor wings.
Yeah, it has like pictures of a whole bunch of different things and
Okay.
why
Perfect.
he cares. I don't know.
Yep. Love it. And that's it. That's how you finish off an escapade. I love the direction that's going. We're going to probably shorten up this from being a full campaign to like a mini campaign, just because we didn't have this in place earlier on. I mean, I guess it's up to you, but because we're gonna get to a part where then we have to just do the final adventure, right? Which really on my side is it just takes all the notes that you gave me and I just make something very simple. And be like, okay, here it is. Do the thing that's gonna happen. Um, I think it's fascinating. Do we know who the CEO of Raven Tech is? It's just we just haven't put a name to him, right?
I think it's the first time we've seen him, right? I like the
Yeah.
idea of that. Like we don't know who this guy is yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. All right. So CEO of Raven Tech.
Can the other Gareth Carr have like the little evil mustache and goatee, so we
The
know it's
stock
evil
OG
Gareth
from
Carr?
Kicks of Evil. Absolutely, he does.
Pushed by Gareth Carr. Ah. All right. Perfect. I love it. That was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for playing. If you want to stick around for just a second, just talk for a little bit. I know Rachel's voice is probably giving out. If you have any questions, like what worked, if you can hang for just a second, what worked, what didn't work, or what would you like to see more of while we were gaming? Because this was truly the dungeon crawliest of adventures. And I think you need to do a dungeon crawl adventure every once in a while.
Yeah.
Um, it lets different characters shine that may not necessarily shine because I think the next one, I really get into the idea of doing Prophet's Town, and it's gotten bigger and weirder. And I think like it's going to be like a town that during the day switches between being Grand Alliance and a free city state. And because of that, it powers its own economy somehow. But it also introduces, um, I mean, it's going to be in the title for what you guys are going to be sent to check out. It's going to be introducing another oracle that people can just interact with. And so you guys will have that opportunity to see what that means. Um, so it's a vastly different adventure type. So yeah, but as far as this adventure goes, it was 4 sessions. What worked? Was it too complicated? I don't know, because we do these like in hour and a half, 2 hour sessions, right? So they're pretty short. But I will stop talking. If anyone wants to say anything, please do.
It was really weird for me, right? Because my dude died. So like immediately it was complicated. Uh I I liked though like the handicap of Mixie just because it made me play something different. And I think that was just for me, that's fun. It's super frustrating. There's a million other ways Gareth Carr could have like gone
Yeah,
through that adventure
yeah,
and being stuck as Tonka truck, it was really tough. Um, but I also want to warn everybody as we go in, the Gareth Carr that comes out is not going to be the same Gareth Carr that was there before. And I'm thinking kind of Search for Spock, Voyage Home, where like it was a religious experience in a lot of ways for him too, and very massive existential crisis, like as massive as one can have. So it's gonna take him a while to. He's not so carefree anymore. He's gonna be sort of monkish a little bit, and yet there's just his programming is just going to make him a little too Gareth Carr probably at times too. But um, anyway, I like the this system allows for that weird shit to happen. That's still my favorite part of Honorbound is that you don't get too weird. Like it just gets weird, and that's okay. And this is not a system that buckles under the weight of too weird. You know,
Yeah.
it thrives on it. I think it just gets better when we get weird. Does it get too complicated, and can you follow it anymore? I mean, that's your problem, right? Jared's problem. That they make sure we keep it on track. But I'm never afraid to be like, oh, I don't want to bring that up. That's too weird. No, we all have to kind of work together to make it part of a good story and
Yeah.
connected. Um, but I was following it the whole time. I thought that was great.
Yeah. The boundaries really are the only ones that you guys put on it for your stories, you know. So that's how I know what is acceptable, what's not acceptable, because you guys tell me straight up in the twists and everything. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, we're gonna do that now. That's cool. Love it.
Well, and you did a great job of the pivot between the character that you sort of had the passion for creating and playing, and like you said, a Tonka truck, right? Like I can only imagine the level of frustration as you're like, man, if I could just get Gareth in there right now, that. So you were that was
Every
fantastic.
time that came up. So thank you. Oh, damn it. I can do that. Yeah. Thank you. It was fun though.
I would say that this series, the tension built very nicely, right? And it came up to this sort of final confrontation in a way that was really satisfying because a lot of the pieces came together and it serves as this sort of launching point very naturally for some of the sort of the bigger bads that are out there, right? The tension with all the different factions and everyone coming together and the need to get this resource, and then the bigger world in which it sits. I thought that the tension built very nicely through the series.
Nice. Yeah. You guys did a good job with that. Like a lot of these adventures and the are just based off of what you guys are telling me what you want to do. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's interesting like how do I need to write campaigns for Honorbound or should I just do you just write a bunch of one shots and then just be like, look, it's you, the players are the ones that tie everything together actually, so it doesn't really matter. But this one made sense because we've been talking about trying to travel to the ship, so I need an energy source. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I didn't know whether to bring in Moon Song for this one or not, but I'm like, that was just last adventure. I'll let her rest for a while. um, yeah, no, thank you so much. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got this one done. I am going to be back home next weekend. Um, and then I can go, I can play the 20. I really shouldn't. I shouldn't play on the 22nd. The 29th will be weird, but I might be up for it. I might have to take a 3-week break, unfortunately. Going back home to Arizona, house, estate stuff that I got to take care of. So, um, next Sunday's out for sure. I can say that. um, yeah, that's all I got. Uh, Eric, were you gonna say something?
Yeah. Rachel and I are going to have a show we're working on in July. But mid July is when it starts. And honestly, it's just the one Sunday, really. After that, there are performances on Sundays, and then those should be done and available after that. Um, we'll keep you updated. But
Sounds good. Was there anything that
Just
you
to,
wanted to add? Oh, yeah, go,
oh,
Aaron.
yeah, just to double check. So we're on hold for our next play date, right?
Pretty much. I
Yep,
know I can't do
that's okay.
next week. The thing is, like, I leave for Arizona on the 23rd. The problem isn't that I'm leaving on the 23rd, it's that I'm leaving at 4 a.m. on the 23rd. And it's like I could play, but it'd be a bad idea. I can't get back there on the 22nd.
are you playing
Um,
out of Cedar Rapids?
yeah.
We could just I mean, Rachel and I could be with you there. It's an airport. Aaron could just fly to Cedar Rapids real quick. We just play,
Sure. Yeah.
right?
just like do a cool 6-hour session and then just hop on the plane, man.
And then you're hopping in a plane. Let's put a pin in that. I think that's a
Yeah,
really good option
yeah, I think it's a good option.
in the airport.
So then leave on the 23rd, come back on the 28th. So I wouldn't have anything really ready on the 29th to go unless I get it all done, which I might. I'm really liking the idea of the adventure, so maybe, but we'll see. 29th, pin in it is what we're looking at. Yeah, Rachel, did you? I want you to save your throat, but was there anything that you wanted to add at all? Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, right on. Well, everyone feel better, and we'll see each other in a couple weeks. Bye. Thank you, guys.
Bye.